Hello, 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 and welcome to Live at 5 with me, Nadine. I am with Amazing Journey Realty. I'm the founder and broker, and I will be coming to you today. For those of you who don't know who I am into real estate and I try to bring awareness to you for your success. Now, our motto is committed and driven for your success. Get the hint? So today, I just wanted to reach out. How are you, by the way? I missed a week. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. And we're just going to get right into it today. Now, the topic for today, before we get to it, actually, do subscribe, like, share with a friend who might find this real estate information helpful on their real estate journey, whether this year, next month, they might be they will benefit from information like these. All right. So without further ado, let's get to it. So this week we'll be talking about reasons from choosing your neighborhood, choosing your neighborhood, a new neighborhood. And essentially, we know that we have individuals from time to time are planning to move, whether to somewhere new. So whether it's relocating for a new job, retirement, seeking out lower cost living, a change of scenery, or perhaps, as seen lately with climate change, the effects on certain areas, right? So statistics have it that people are moving to different states. It's normal. You find people moving from state to state, or from country to country, or from county within a state. It is natural. And one would say that within 2006, there was a high number of people moving from state to state. That has since reduced significantly, but then there was an uptick in 2021. Approximately 7.9 million people moved within the states, which drove it up a little. It's not as much as it was in prior to 2007, right? And 2022 as well saw significant movements within states and countries due to the pandemic, and the way things were shifting for a minute, right? Where individuals could work from home, work from anywhere in the world. So we found that, individuals are moving a lot. Now, um, the moving rate in the US is approximately 8.7% in 2022. And most movers, they would stay within the state, but move to different counties and or different states entirely, or country entirely. Whatever is your goal for moving this year, I am here to speak to you, to give you some highlights, a few tips, not exhaustive, but to highlight a few tips as to what you could do to find the neighborhood that works best for you. All right, so let's get into it. One, I would say we check the proximity. When you're trying to find the neighborhood that works best for you, check the proximity and accessibility to your place of work, school, etc., particularly if you commute for work. There's also amenities. Good to know if you're close to certain amenities of your preference, such as restaurants, schools, parks, spa, etc. Other examples include, if you have a child with special needs or wish to retire in a neighborhood that's closer to the beach or to the lake, etc., it's always good to know before, what exactly you really want. Third point, uh, visit the area of your preference as often as you can during perhaps during the weekends, in the evenings, at nights, if you commute during peak hours, to see whether it works for you, to see whether, is it worth the time traveling that distance or being in traffic for quite a period. All right. So, too much traffic from your regular destination could be a humbug. So it's helpful to know these things beforehand. Now, also watch out for airport zones, train lines, major highways, if you're someone who enjoys peace and quiet. So, if you want peace and quiet, being in an airline zone or airport zone might not be suitable for you, or close to a train line, right? So just be careful and know these before you go. Research climate conditions. Now, with climate change, no area is immune from natural disasters these days. All right, no area is immune. So, we recommend, though, needless to say, we recommend that you check the local news, maybe the past 10 years, 5 to 10 years, to see if there were any major incidents, flooding, fires, tornadoes, whatever there is. It's possible that it can recur, right? So it's always helpful to have an idea whether this area, not that any area is bad, because a flood could happen in a no flood zone. Again, back to climate change, could happen in a no flood zone. And, another time it's fine. For another 100 years, there's absolutely no issue. Okay. Um, the sixth point, narrow your search to 2 or 3 towns. So not to get totally confused and or become stressed with, the exciting journey of buying. It's an exciting journey when you're going, you've sold your home or you're about to sell your home, and to get something different, the change can be very exciting. And therefore, it's helpful to narrow your search. If you want to take your time and, look in different areas, maybe a year before, take your time, travel. If it's a different country, go to that country maybe twice for the year, see what it's like. If this is where you see yourself retiring or starting a new life, whatever it is, it's helpful for you to take your time, particularly if you're moving out of state or out of country. Now, that is, if it is that you have to move urgently for work purposes, you have a month notice to take on a new assignment elsewhere, it might be helpful for you to rent first. So rent, stay in that property for a year or two, up to you, and then by then you should have an idea where you'd like to see yourself staying permanently, and from there on you purchase. All right. So again, these are not exhaustive. There are so many other things that one can look into. I just wanted to highlight a few tips that you could, use to prepare you to get you from one state to another, or one country to another, or one town to another. Because no town is the same, right? They have even different rules that they follow, and therefore it's always helpful to try to understand the town within which you intend to live, or the complex, whatever it is. All right. Um, Now, your real estate broker can actually help you to get you the right property. Okay, whether it's in another country, etc., they can help you to get there, and therefore it's always helpful to get in touch with a realtor. They help you to prepare and sell your current home. They can identify and secure houses within your preferred areas. By then, you would have narrowed where you want to be, right? And they provide comparables for you to make a favorable decision as to the asking or offering price. Okay. They also will guide you with a complex selling and or buying process, and the list goes on. The list goes on. So it's helpful to get the services of a realtor. I can't sing that, enough. If you're in the local area, I'm in New Jersey, you can reach out at any time. If it's in another state, you can also reach out. I can try to help you to identify at least 3 qualified great realtors to assist you in any state or country. I'm a certified professional specialist, as well as I'm a former diplomat, so I kind of understand, what it is like moving from one country to another, to explore, to start moving once you've hit the ground, and to ensure that you're comfortable where you go. All right. So some things that I must let you know as it relates to what a realtor cannot do for you. Okay. Very often, and we anticipate that our realtor will be able to guide us locally. Where's the best place to eat, where schools, blue ribbon schools, certain things that we can guide you on, but we are not allowed to provide you with information as it relates to the racial makeup of a specific area. All right, it is not in accordance with the fair housing laws as well as our real estate practice. We also are not allowed to steer you away from your preferred area. So if it is that you have been to these areas and you see that this is where I want to set up and do whatever and retire or whatever it is that your plans are, um, we will give you, providing there are inventory within that specific area, it is our mandate to give you those, right? All inventory that are available within your purview, within your preference. And we're not allowed to steer you from where you're supposed to be. That's also against the rules and regulation with the Fair Housing as well as the Real Estate Commission. Now, just to bear in mind that, that from time to time, if it is that we have limited inventory, which is seen in certain areas, there's some sought after areas where inventory is very limited, meaning there are very few houses, but so much more demand buyers than the supply, right? And therefore, we may, as realtors, recommend other areas close enough to where you are, but we can't force you to be in any of these areas. The choice is still yours. All right. So, depending on the state, another thing that we can't do, depending on the state, we are not allowed to provide you information as it relates to, well, voluntarily. We cannot divulge information as to whether a house is haunted or it was a scene of a crime or something to that effect. All right. New Jersey, for one, is one such, and therefore we, it's you have to do your research. It's very important to know, a little more. Check the news, and that will tell you. Go back maybe 5 years to see, what happened, if anything had happened within within that specific house, for example, right? Um, and then the next thing, as it relates to Megan's Law, it is my understanding that there might be a few changes, but as it relates to Megan's Law, we are not. Megan's Law, by the way, for those who may not know, has to do with sex offenders, right? And we as realtors are not allowed to give you or to do that research for you. However, we can direct you to the relevant authority who will be able to provide you with the necessary data that you need, but you yourself can find that out once you identify that this is my area, this is where I want to be, is my street free from any issues as it relates to sex offenders. You would have had to deal with that on your own with the local authority. All right. So that is essentially it. Now, again, there are great realtors out there who will be able to assist you to relocate. As a former diplomat, I can and I understand what you would go through in finding a new place and the excitement that comes with it. But then it can also be a humbug. I remember once I found what I thought was a perfect place, but then it was a distance from the commute. I didn't want to drive to work, so I wanted to take the train. The train seemed fine at first, but then I realized, particularly during winter months, it was a trek. The walk was quite a bit to get home from the train station, and therefore it's helpful to know what it is that you're doing and where you're going before you go. All right. So again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to provide you with additional information and or services. I can also help you in identifying great realtors in other states and or perhaps countries if it is that you need that support. All right. Don't forget. Well, that's it for now. That's it for now. If you have any questions, remember, do not hesitate to reach out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this channel, and you may also leave a comment if there is something that you would like to see in future in terms of discussions. Please don't hesitate to share those. And that is it for this week. That's it for this week. Now, to wrap up, I hope I usually have my little motivation for the week. And this week's motivation, it says, the more we trust God, the more trustworthy we find him to be. The more we trust God, the more trustworthy we find him to be. And that's by Cliff Richard. And we just take that. I'll give you another one actually this week. It says failure is just another opportunity to try again. So whatever happened last week, whatever happened this week, the midweek or for next week, keep trying, keep pressing, keep pushing toward the prize, and you will be fine. Okay, so thank you again for joining. It is wonderful to see you. Hello. It is wonderful to see you, and I wish you a wonderful and productive and blessed week. Have a great one. You came on just before I'm leaving. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. We'll be in touch. Okay? Have a great one.